So it's wonderful to be here with you, Ali El Sheikh, and I'm Katarina Hansens-Carlsen. I'm the CEO of Destiny International 11 and the founder of the Entrepreneurial Blueprint Consultation. So, Ali, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, Katharina. Likewise, I'm very pleased and delighted and honored to have me in this brilliant conversation with full insight. I am Ali Sheikh. I have over 25 years of experience in different industry regarding fintech, banking sector, mentorship, consultancy, and instructing. I am co-founder in three enterprises, one working on it as a chief CMO, and the other one chief public relation officer, CPRO, and the other one the head of strategic partnership. That in nutshell. And these are the three startups that I'm co-founder in these three startups. These three startups is one of them in United States and the other one in the United Arab Emirates and the third one here in Egypt. So I'm very pleased to have you and to have us in this very fruitful conversation, I believe.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's very interesting for our viewers that are listening or are listening to the recording. Ali and I have just met. We just met on LinkedIn and we connected because we are very much like-minded globally. I'm from Stockholm and Ali is from Cairo. And yet we met together in a like-minded way. We had an amazing conversation. And from that, we decided to share our conversation with you, with the viewers globally. So this is how we say to our audience, we're going to do this every Tuesday. We're going to pick a new topic.
Yeah.
And we are going to discuss this because now is the time to speak up. Now is the time for everyday people to speak up and say what we really think, to know who you are, what your core values are, and make decisions on who you are. So in a world increasingly driven by AI, speed, and technology, why do you believe, Ali, that humanity, values, and purpose matter now more than ever before? Why do you think it's important?
It is very important to have an ethical paradigm and forward lines to work within to ensure that it will not be abused by a wrong hand and ensure the equality in treatment between human beings. So from ethical behavior and from core values to fight the war and the hateness in the speeches. So it is very crucial to have such thing from ethical perspective. As a matter of fact, in the business, different industries with many diversification in workplaces, you can see more people are very brilliant in IQ and using the AI, and they are very intelligent to use such technicalities. But I see a lot who are lacking the EI, the emotional intelligence, and the purpose of life to have an ethical and core values to deal with others. This is very important, which will enhance the business and evolve it, and also will accelerate the growth of the business itself. So if you see from myopia perspectives that only I see the commercial and the business, you at the end will the pace you are working through is very slow. By empowering it with ethical and EI and every aspect of values within common accepted ethics, this will make things different.
Absolutely. EI, emotional intelligence, our humanity matter more than they've ever have before. Why? because AI is not a human being. We feed AI. We can use AI in our businesses. We would be crazy not to use AI, because AI is an information machine. It knows everything or most of what we know, but it's not a human being, and it is not meant to take control of our lives. So we must remember that we are human beings first, global human beings. It's very important that we find our core values. Very few people know their core values, but if we can't find our core values, we cannot make decisions, and we cannot choose the right leaders, because we need to choose leaders who are aligned with our core values. This should be taught in schools. It's not taught in schools. If we don't know our core values, we don't know who we are. We don't know what our driving purpose is. We don't know what our vision is, and we're lost. And sorry to say, I think at least 80 to 90% of people are lost. Even if you have an amazing corporate job, you're making lots of money, you're very so-called successful, you may feel completely lost inside. And I think a lot of people will relate to that. So I just want to continue.
I would highlight, yes, I would highlight here money or the titles or the successful business agreement don't make the happiness for ourselves.
No.
It is how we perceive it as a grace. And the most important thing is how to give, how to treat people ethically, to work in a healthy ecosystem, supporting each other in the sake of better humanity and for business as well. That's why you can see it very obvious in a lot of firms and enterprise, international and multinational, having the title of CSR, Corporate Social Responsibility, and CSV, Common Social Values. This is very important to evolve the business, to ensure when you are cultivating your business in a healthy environment that helps the business to grow. And the most important asset here is the human capital in your firm. You have to ensure that they are aligned with your code of values and ethics and with the whole global society as well.
You have to be completely aligned, which brings us to the next question. Millions of people today feel successful on the outside, but empty on the inside. Why do you think this is so? And why are so many people struggling to find meaning, purpose, and fulfillment in modern society? I think what has happened is that we have been dumbed-downed in schools. So if you look at the NASA report of 1962, Dr. George Land found that out of 1,600 children, 98% were coming from and were delivering and demonstrating creative genius. 98% of children up to the age of 6 years old. And they're also linguistic geniuses, by the way. When these same children were teenagers and were tested, only 12% of them came up with demonstrated creative genius. 12%, so 98% to 12%. And no wonder teenagers have so many issues, have so many problems, because we're not listening to them. We're not finding their brilliance. We're not finding their driving purpose. We're not helping them to find themselves. By the time these same children became adults, only 2% demonstrated creative genius. So we ask ourselves, why do people not have purpose in the world? Why do people not know themselves? Well, that answers the question, doesn't it? Because we get very lost in schools. We lose direction. We lose our genius. Now, can that genius be retrieved? Absolutely. That's what I've been working on for the past 20 years and successfully. But it took me 20 years to find my core values, my purpose, my vision, because we live in a world that doesn't focus on that. We live in a global community. We have AI, we have Zoom to connect us. We can connect all over the world. It's wonderful. We should be using AI to help us, each other, not to compete, but to cooperate together, to cooperate and to create a global vision. And the next question, what are the core values that truly shape exceptional human beings, leaders, communities, and organizations? And what happens when society loses those values? Well, we know what happens when society loses these values. And what are the core values? Well, let's take mine, for example. My core values are truth, greatness, and vision. And they are also universal core values. So that means I can work together with, I can cooperate with anyone who has similar core values like truth, greatness, and vision. And that's what I put into Global Leadership Schools, which I'm the founder of. So how would a world look that was based on truth, greatness, and vision? It would look very different. Children would thrive in schools. They would learn to handle money, learn to handle their economies, and they would thrive for the rest of your lives. Many people spend years trying to become someone else who's accepted. How can individuals discover the best version of themselves while remaining authentic to their purpose, strengths, and contribution? Well, I've created the entrepreneurial blueprint, which is for leaders, which is for children, but mainly for adults, to find the peak identity that we've lost, because at some point in our lives, we've been at our peak. So we need to remember that moment and create a new high version of ourselves. Then we need to find our driving purpose. And if we've found who we are, we can find what we're up to. If we find what we're up to, we can create a 1-year, 3-year, 5-year vision. When we know where we're going in 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years' time, we can make decisions in business and in life. So, what is the only thing that is actually stopping us from having an incredible world, a global world that works together rather than against each other? The only thing, you know the answer, is fear. So how do we combat fear? Well, first of all, in neuroscience, as you all know, we have a reptilian brain, which is just above our spinal cord. We all have a reptilian brain. We have a mind that sets us against what we're up to. So, Ali, we're talking about what stops us from being the greatest that we can be, and I'm saying it's fear. What would you say? What is the only thing that stops us?
Let me start summarizing my concept here for the purpose of life and what is the most things that most people are fearing. The people got confused and they don't have the campus to see the right way to go for. They misconfuse between the way and the target, or the way and the targeted direction. So most of people didn't see the purpose of life. They are not devoted to themselves. They are not giving themselves a space from their mental health and to spiritual health as well, which cause a lot of fears for facing the future, ambiguity, and most of them, because they used all the time the figures and the numbers and the amount, they lost the sense of intuition, how to feel like a human being. I love the part when you mentioned in the last 20 years when you are treated the kids and see this is the core cause and the root of all fears we are facing when we grow up. My point of view here, when you uh, when you lost when you lose your passion, lose your purpose, don't focus enough to use your talent smartly, and don't focus on what you can have a positive impact in your community and in the whole world regarding the demand of the positive things. In addition to appreciation, you have to appreciate the others and the other have to appreciate you. So the most thing most people fear is their fearness for the future and how they can be adapting to all changes as well, which create a competition, a fake competition between the others. Most of people focusing on the others' work, and they forget to focus on their own work and to evolve themselves. So most of people are not aligned with each other. They don't have the social intelligence and the emotional intelligence to accept what they are in themselves and what the people they need from themselves, and to reach a point of compromise to have a, a space in a healthy world. So it is at the end, it is the fairness of how we can communicate with each other, the fairness of the ambiguity of the tomorrow, how things will go on, and that fake competition between each other.
Wonderful. So the last question, if every person listening today pause and ask themselves, what kind of human being am I becoming? How do you believe that one question could transform individuals, businesses, leadership, and even the future of our society globally?
Most of people think that the success becomes when you are chasing your dreams and focus only in your job and your mission and vision, and ignore your family needs, ignore your friends' need, ignore how to live in balance, how to watch out of your health, how to take care of yourself spiritually and mentally and in healthy perspective. So I guess the core here to be a better version of ourselves is to be balanced, not to focus only in one purpose of life. You should, as William Shakespeare said in one of his amazing novel, I guess *Midsummer Night Dream, when he said that to love is nothing, to be loved is something, to love and to be loved is everything. This is the best thing that we have to take in our career and profession, and also in the family, and also for our health and from spirituality and mentality, and to have it grow in our side to be a better version of ourselves, to evolve. And the evolving here is consist of 4 pillars. The first pillar is keep learning. It must be a lifelong journey for learning. Second, you have to be proactive for changes, not to wait for changes and to adapt on it. You have to make the change. As Gandhi said, be the change you love to see in the world. And the third pillar, which is the totally right on yourself, is to do the personal branding. And here, I don't mean the personal branding is to market for each and everything, but to emphasize the core value and ethics, to show people, to attract to how these core values is very important. So the competition will not between you and the others. It will be between you and the old version of yourself, how to evolve yourself as a human being. And the fourth pillar is to be the best version of yourself is networking. Most of people got misuse or understand the true concept of networking. Networking here is not doing socializing. Networking here is to approach the people has the same concept and same ideas and same values, and to approach to win-win situation. And on the other hand, for the people who are lacking such values, to grab them in your circle and enlighten them by your attitude, by your behavior. It's fighting the hateness and fighting the war you have mentioned when you see in the kids when they are young, how they have things changed when they grow up. So from the first place, be the example for the others to follow and to see the community or the ecosystem you love to live on it. That's it in brief or nutshell.
Beautiful.
So let me summarize it. Be proactive, keep learning, focus on your personal branding, networking in win-win situation.
Wonderful, thank you. So we've mentioned our core values and the person that we are becoming. So we would like you to put in the comment, even if it's, this may be a recording, you can actually contact us with a DM. You have 30 minutes with Ali, or you can have 30 minutes with me, or you can direct message us on LinkedIn and say who you are becoming, because you know what? You matter. You matter, Ali matters, I matter, we all matter. Every single one of our children matter, and our grandchildren. So who are you becoming? And if you can also, if you know your core values, please tell us what your core values are and what you would like to talk about next week, because next week we have a surprise for you. So thank you for watching today. Thank you from Ali, and thank you from Katerina and Carlson, Ali Shell. Thank you so much. And thank you for viewing. Stay with us. We are creating a global community.